Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the What's in Your Head podcast.
Digitized live from
Your company name here.
the studios in Cape Coral, Florida. It's the What's in Your Head podcast.
What's up? OG5 at the top of the show. I think we should only say happy anniversary. 20-year anniversary. Did you guys get the fucking card? I should play the clip. Hey, post producer edit guy, put the clip in right here. For those of you who listen to the show on the audio, it's badgers, mushrooms, badgers, mushrooms, snakes. Oh, it's a snake. 20 years, and I was playing it. I was like, Carrie, so 20 years. She's like, makes sense. You've been saying that shit ever since we got together.
It's amazing what sticks with you over the years.
Even dumb shit. Oh,
Like that.
Metallica's Off to Never Neverland. No, but way before that, back in Morgan's time, Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer. Oh, it ain't no fair. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. I was in Columbus at the time. There's a shitty white trash community called Zanesville.
Oh.
Morning show. Hardy har har. Use that song and they sung, oh, it ain't no fair. Oh, living in Zanesville. Little dumb shit like that I heard when I was in third grade, stuck in my head all these years later.
That's how it works.
And then another radio show with the Metallica. You say it was right after Euro Disneyland opened. So off the Euro Disneyland, just the dumbest shit like that just embeds in your brain for in perpetuity.
That's, we had the morning zoo in Portland, and that was the whole thing. I mean, it was just like dumbass parodies and little sound clips. And I don't know, Mike, you might not have ever heard it, but did you ever hear the drive-through skit, Don? Where it's, the guy pulls up and he's like, I want double cheeseburger, onion rings, and a large orange drink. And then it comes back with, wah, 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 wah.
A double cheeseburger, onion rings, and a large orange drink, please.
And, until the guy ends up driving through the restaurant out of frustration.
Goes inside, talks to the teller, and he says, wah, 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 wah. Yep. Badgers is 20 years old this year. That was like the first original, one of the first original Java videos, I think it was.
I thought it was that, wasn't it Frog or something like that?
It was the dancing hamsters, wasn't it?
No, the dancing baby.
Yeah. No, I didn't say it was the first GIF. That was a GIF. This was like Java-based graphics. Like when, what was that famous website? Lone Star, something Star Runner or some shit. Homestar Runner, yeah. Homestar Runner, the birth of internet animation. Yeah. It was a website. It was like before YouTube. It was a website. These guys spent hours animating Java-based cartoon about Homestar Runner, and you'd go to their website and watch these cartoons on their website. It was a thing. So yeah, Homestar Runner, a legendary Adobe Flash animated series that completely defined the early 2000s internet culture, created by Mike and Matt Chapman, known as the Brothers Chap. The site launched in January of 2000 and grew into a massive independent web phenomenon. Instead of a corporate-sponsored traditional ads, the creators famously found an entire opportunity purely through the online store's merchandise cart, selling ironic t-shirts, hoodies, and CDs directly to fans. So they were before YouTube, and there was basically, as I was saying, the first real online series of anything, really. So, A long chapter is going to finally be closed here on the What's the Your Head podcast. And that is Don gets city water.
Yay!
It's been a long time coming. After construction, my kid's bike getting ran over, my mailbox getting hit that they wouldn't replace, all the burrowing owl's nest being filled in, my internet going out, dirty cars, nails and tires, empty beer cans all over the street from the construction crew. Once again, if you want to drink a couple of Tall Boy Mike's Hard Lemonade before you drive home after working out in the heat all day, that's between you and your God and the police. But at least pick up your empties and throw them in the dumpster. Don't leave them crushed on the street 3 feet from where the fucking elementary school bus stop is. Thank you.
Yeah, nobody cares.
No, nobody cares.
Nobody
Well,
cares.
at least they're not leaving full ones by the bus stop.
Well, I'd be more appreciative
that'd be
for
a
that.
cardinal sin.
No, that'd be a courtesy.
Yeah, that'd be a courtesy for the next guy.
Well, the more annoying thing is they would leave the empty tubes of the equipment operation grease out there, for the grease gun, and then they would get run over. And so you're walking your dog, and the dog's like, "Ooh, jelly!" You're trying to eat the shit. It's like, come on, just pick it up. Don't treat my house like a job site. But the result is, after my house, prior to me owning it, and then when we bought it in 2016, we've had well water, which, as we've talked about before, my mineral content's so high that I got to empty my water heater because of the salt. So long story short, now I got water pressure, and my bathroom tub faucet and my kitchen sink were both leaking because the valves weren't shutting completely because all the bullshit built up. So I've been playing Shade Tree fucking Plumber for the past 2 days.
That's fun.
Here's a little secret for you, Mike. You got one of those garden tubs where the faucet won't shut all the way, and you can twist it and it stops. And then you let it go and it starts dripping again because, as you know, you're pushing that pen down, it pushes the rubber thing in the hole.
Sure.
I got to replace mine tomorrow, but to prevent it from dripping, I tightened it down and I put a fucking 25-pound dumbbell on top of it so it pushes that fucking spring
Perfect.
down. As a drip, a drop. It's fucking fixed, fellas.
That's perfect. That's good for another 6 months. Roll on.
I strongly recommend a bumper weight. That's the one with the rubber coating on it. That way, if it falls over, you don't damage your porcelain. But yeah, I just kind of, technically, it's a 25-pound dumbbell, but I'm only using one side. So you guys can get away with like an 11-pound plate.
Sure.
Because all you got to do is push that spring down, compress that little fucking upside down top hat down in that hole to shut that water off.
Because I can promise you this, you do not, even a drip you don't want to deal with, because I've had customers call me and they said, well, the city came out and said I had an issue and they say that I owe $1,000 for my water bill.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're
Carrie's
I don't know
concern.
there's no water running. Yes, there is. Something's broken somewhere. It's
dripping one
dripping out
penny at a
something.
time.
Yep. That's 100% accurate.
Oh,
Luckily,
if any
most
of our
municipalities, luckily most municipalities actually work with you on a lot of that shit.
if any of the fine people who installs marble slabs for a living on people's kitchen counters, do the future homeowner a favor. Round holes. Don't drill half holes in the joint and butt them together and then leave a football shape, because it greatly reduces what kitchen faucet you can put in that fucker. Because how many homeowners have a wet saw and a fucking drill bit? By the way, have you ever tried to drill out a hole in a piece of wood that you've already drilled too big? You can't do it. It's not like you can put a hole saw on there. The fucking arbor won't fit in the hole. It's too big.
Yeah, there's a way you can.
Yeah, you use a step bit, but you're not. Do they make marble
Not
grade
even-
step bits?
Not even that. It's I my diamond bit that I use, because I have to drill holes all the time for faucets. I don't drill countertops. I have, but we leave that up to the granite people because that shit's expensive, and if we fuck it up, that's on us.
And
But I
Dusty's a
could-
motherfucker.
I drill tile all the time and stuff like that, and the only way that you can get that bitch to go is to just hold it as still as you possibly can and just let it rip, and hopefully it doesn't walk on you, because if it does, you're fucked. So,
I'll give you a little tip. If you're drilling through diamond plate, as I used to
little
could
tip?
with a lot of a little tip right in the middle.
Mm.
Back my ambulance building days, every once in a while I'd drill through some diamond plate.
back in my day.
And if you're poor like most of us, you don't have that fancy spring loaded thing that puts the little divot in your medium so your drill bit don't walk. Put about 4 layers of electrical tape down. It'll hold you in place. Get that works on glass too.
Yeah.
Trying to drill through a bottle with a glass bit. Put some tape on there. It'll keep it from walking. So how you been, Morgan?
Good.
How's the fine world of propane and propane accessories?
Oh, it's just great. Dang it, Bobby.
Busy weekend.
I said, damn it, Bobby. Oh.
Actually, this weekend's not going to be busy at all.
Well, good.
Yeah. So next weekend, we'll talk about what I'm going to do offline. But I think you'll be fascinated by it, though.
So before the show, we were talking about how the 90s is finally coming back in the clothing line. Oh, there goes Mike again. And I don't know if it was so much intended for the 90s. I think a lot of it had to do when What's His Dick did the New Year's halftime show the previous year. One who was making fun of What's His Dick on that song.
Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, when Kendrick Lamar was on there, he was wearing baggy pants like we did in the 90s. And that gave all the trend followers permission to go wear them again. Ever since then, now you're seeing moms and shit breaking out their pants from the 90s, and all, which I'm fine with. But I'm starting to see younger cats. We were at Panera Bread, which is ironic because these girls look like one of them had on a Marilyn Manson shirt. They're doing all the whole late 90s, early 2000s goth look, which is ironic because they're in like one of the most yuppie, expensive fast food restaurants, Panera Bread. Kind of Panera Bread where you can pay $20 for half a sandwich and a cup of macaroni and cheese. We literally bought, we got the pick too. It's literally half a sandwich, a cup of macaroni and cheese, and a bag of chips for $25. So there's two of us. Actually, it was like $20. There's two of us. I was like, we basically paid $45 for a lunch sandwich and a half a box of macaroni and cheese and 2 bags of potato chips. There's no reason Panera Bread should ever go out of business. But anywho, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I haven't been able to eat normal stuff lately because I've been having the stomach issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all been bland. Well, I decided, I can have like grilled chicken and I can have avocado. And as gross as it sounds, I decided to get a grilled chicken flatbread from Subway it was supposed to be slices of avocado, chicken, but okay. By the time it got to me, it was just mashed green shit.
Baby food on a bun.
Yeah. And then with a little bit of mustard and mayo.
Now, was that brought to you home by a loved one or through a service?
Through a service.
Okay. And your luck, they probably had a delivery before you, which, by the way, don't do the delivery before me when it comes to hot fucking food.
No. I don't care. I pay the $2.99. I pay the $2.99 because I've sat there for an hour and 15 minutes waiting for that motherfucker to show up at my door. Mm-hmm. And if you don't pay the $2.99 to get direct to you, they'll do 2 or 3 other stops in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And then you have cold baby food on a bun.
Exactly. So I got I got this sandwich, and it was one of the first things that I've eaten other than what we've been cooking at the house to keep it really bland. Mm-hmm. There was a little bit of flavor to it. So I didn't care how it looked. I didn't care.
So as you were saying on the internet, you're eating white people chicken.
Yeah. There was literally nothing on it. It was grilled chicken and mashed fucking green avocado and some condiments. Ate the shit out of that thing. I was so hungry. I've lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Not
healthy, but nice.
It's not healthy, but you know.
Hey, look at the bright side. You saved $1,200 on fucking Ozempic.
Yeah. So we go to order Subway again, and I had my son here. Take a guess on how much it was to order 3 footlongs with
I know this game.
With no combo, no drink, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
All said and done.
Hold on. I'm guessing.
Paid for with a tip.
$63.
Hold on. Drinks?
No drinks.
Cookie?
No cookie.
3 for $1.
No chips.
Just the subs.
3 footlongs.
Nope, that number's wrong. I forgot my decimal point. $34.74.
I said $63.
What'd you say?
$34.74. That's at $11.58 per foot long.
$81
for 3.
Whoa!
That's because
what was it? Gold-plated avocado?
Was that because of the Uber charge?
I don't know.
Yeah, I want.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, we want to.
And I'll give you the breakdown.
$83.
It must be like fuel surcharges.
You could have sent your old lady to fucking Outback or Applebee's, got 2 for $33, and then got your son something.
So here's what it was. What? Now I added a little bit of stuff to my sandwich because
that's what they call extra.
Right. I did a little bit more protein because mine wasn't going to be as full. So I got a grilled chicken and avocado foot-long on flatbread. Oil, mayonnaise, mustard, salt, 50% more protein. That was $22.07.
Wow.
My wife got a grilled chicken foot-long. She basically wanted a chicken bacon ranch, but she doesn't like their shredded chicken. She likes, or their rotisserie. She likes the grilled. So I have to make a special sandwich for that. That was $20.58.
$24 for fucking a sandwich.
My son got one of their advertised sandwiches, the 5-meat Italian, with basic shit, nothing out of the ordinary. That was $19.49. Subtotal of $62.14. I nixed the delivery fee because I pay for their stupid thing because I use it enough for that. They cut the service fee down from $9.32 to $4.32. My tax was also $4.32. I did the express fee at $2.99. The tip was $6.50. It was $80.27 for 3 foot-longs.
Where was your Was your wife working?
No.
And you weren't working? You were at home?
We were at home.
And you saw the subtotal before you... Why? At what? I guess I'm confused. If it was me, I'd be like, fuck it. If I'm going to spend $88, we're going to fucking Chili's. Or B, I'm driving to... I'm driving somewhere and I'm going to get a 6-inch and not a foot long.
Right. So here's the issue.
Yep.
You know where I live.
Mm-hmm,
Hang on a second. I gotta fix my
traffic hell.
Isn't there a Publix near you?
He lives off traffic hell. He lives off the fucking...
Well, he lives off the demonic diamond. I know that.
Yeah. So
by the interstate.
So here's the problem. Since they did the stupid diamond thing, getting off of 6 Mile was always terrible. Now, it's either just as bad or way fucking worse.
You need a drone and a homeboy who works at Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly.
Fly that shit
because I was on my way home from work. I stopped at Publix to get something. I think I had to get a prescription or something like that and a couple small things. And this was during the week. I think it was only like 4:30 in the afternoon. It took me 45 minutes to get home. It's I should be to that place in 5 minutes. Because the Publix is only 5 minutes from my house. But it took me 45 minutes to get off of 6 Mile onto Colonial and into the Forum.
You got a gang of eateries not too far from your house. Yeah. A lot of them are higher end, upscale stuff. Not really upscale, but more sit-down restaurants.
Not terribly. I mean, we
don't
really have a lot of fast food.
That's what I'm saying. They're more sit-down
in the Forum
restaurant.
Yeah. There's not really a lot of fast food in the Forum. I mean, I guess you could consider Dunkin'.
You could go to Moe's. That place sucks since fucking COVID.
Yeah. But I've got Moe's, I've got McAllister's.
Can we have a moment of silence for Moe's? I'm fucking serious. When I worked at Standard Haney, we used to give out Moe's. Jesus. We used to give out Moe's gift cards. I ate at that place all the time. Then right around COVID, when they did the image change and like whited out their food has been shit. I haven't been there since 2022. It's a sad state of affairs.
We haven't been there in a while either.
It's garbage.
They got Moe's, McAllister's, Dunkin', Starbucks. I've got Tony's New York Pizza, which we do love, but that gets expensive. I do have a Firehouse near me. We have a Bentofu, so we got
Watch your mouth,
shit like that.
By the way, there's a Domino's. They must be hurting for business in Fort Myers. Yeah. Offer 33% cash back on the Upside app when you order from them.
Wow.
Yeah. Now here's the rub on that. Fuck you, Chipotle. By the way, if you want to get a little cash back on your fucking gas spending, just simply go download the Upside app. It's just as it sounds, Upside app. And then when you do, it's going to ask you for a promo code. If you could do us all a big favor here. And then use the promo code. Hold on, I got to unclaim my Chipotle. It's a good way to sell it. But hey, we're honest here. Yeah, just use the promo code digital 9684. And so anytime you buy gas, you just take a picture of the receipt and upload it, and they give you cash back, which is where my beef comes with Chipotle. They don't allow you to upload the receipt. You have to pay with the credit card that you registered with your app. So I lost my 3% cash back on them because I don't have a credit card register. I just always upload my receipts. So, but yeah, 33% cash back on a Domino's. That ain't a bad deal. That's wild stuff. Well, since we brought up the cost of how expensive shit is, I'll just kind of go into this little fun fact. So after talking to some friends the other day, we kind of got on the subject of cost of living, inflation.
Yeah, don't remind us.
And so the topic came up of not getting a pay raise since like 2023. And so I had a question for our friend ChatGPT, and I said, hey, if you got hired in 2023 and you haven't got a raise and you make the same amount of money in 2026 working for the same place, what is your loss of money? And so he corrected it by saying purchasing power. That's what the economists do, is your purchasing power. Now, ChatGPT came up with the salary. They're just doing this to simplify the math, but I'll just read it to you. If you have not received a raise since 2023, your paycheck has lost roughly 9 to 10% of its purchasing power by May of 2026 due to inflation. Based on US CPI data, prices increased about 303.4 in April of 2023 to 333.0 in April of 2026. In practical terms, something that cost you $100 in 2023 is now $110. So you say, what's an extra $10, right? We got to times that by all your bills times fucking 365 days. So it goes on. Right. Example. I think the average medium, which I would say low medium fucking income nowadays is 50 grand. So it wanted a nice round number that people, so example, if $50,000 was your salary in 2023, you would need about $55,000 today to maintain the same purchasing power. So you would need a $5,000 a year raise just to have the same spending power as you had 3 fucking years ago. But here's where it gets fun, kids. Because, AI and all our devices track everything we do. It says, fun fact, if you live in Florida, oh boy, Florida has also seen a higher than average increase due to home insurance from the hurricanes, rent and housing, auto insurance costs, utilities, and groceries. So for many people in Florida, the real world squeeze may feel even worse than the national inflation numbers suggest. If you live in Florida, living in Florida makes the impact feel even larger because several costs have risen faster than national inflation since 2023, as we just said. So with the national inflation of April 2023 through May 2026, it is roughly 9 to 10%. Many Florida residents have seen their actual monthly expenses increase to more like 15 to 25%, depending on housing and insurance costs. So in practical terms, you would need a 15 to 20% raise to have the same purchasing power that you did. A short 3, we're not talking 10 years. We're not even talking a short 3 fucking years. That is how bad our inflation and the value of our dollar has gone down.
I think it's
now,
go ahead.
Does that factor in what they take out in taxes out of that raise?
It's just no, it's using your salary as an example, but it's showing your overall purchasing power. So all things aside, if you had a round number of $50,000, and if you made $50,000 in 2023, whether it's tax involved or not, everything's the same, right? So in this number, if you were to include taxes, then you would include them now. Everything would be equal. So in this example, everything's equal. Its point being is to make the difference of inflation and how much that $10 is decreased in order to be able to have I guess the example would be is if you're one of the rare people who have not increased your cost of living at all, meaning you didn't go out and buy a car or a new house. You have the same mortgage, the same bills, with the exception of the shit that's gone up, like Netflix and all that. But if you actually didn't go out and buy anything different, your monthly bill stayed the same. You eat the exact same grocery bill every week for 3 years. You would you would be $5,000 short than what you were back then.
I'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What's fuel going for down there?
Diesel's through the roof. Diesel's almost $5. I think regular's $4.18, $4.20. Actually, here, I can tell you because I'm going to pull out my Upside app. Shameless plug. Once again, fellas, go onto Google Play or App Store and download the Upside app. Digital 9684. Put that in the promo code. You'll get a little kickback on your first gallon. And like, seriously, it's not one of the shit where, oh, here's some gift. No, I have a balance of $5.29. Once I get to $10, I can just transfer $10 in my bank account. It's not a lot of money, but every nickel and dime counts nowadays. For example, the Shell gas station, 0.07 miles from my house, gas is $4.20 a gallon. If I use the Upside app, I'm getting 15 cents cash back on regular, so I'd only be paying a staggering $4.05. So I'm saving, so from $4.20 down to $4.15 just by using this app.
The new Wawa just opened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I walk out the front door of the estate and I literally can see
the flying goose,
the Wawa sign. And so diesel was at like almost like $5.18 a gallon until the Wawa opened. And they were like, fuck it, we're just going to have like super low prices. And they were like at $4.89 and they're literally right across the street from the Circle K. And they dropped their price and now it's down to like $4.69 for diesel.
I don't know if it's the same now, but back in the 90s when I went to school driver's ed school, my driver's ed teacher said that there's a state law that prevents dramatic gas prices on the same road or in the same area. So like all of them could be 3 to 4 cents difference, but you couldn't have somebody say, fuck this, gas is 99 cents a gallon. I'm undercutting everybody. This shit's going for 75 cents. You couldn't do drastic pay drops like that.
Well,
hold on, to answer your question, because I scrolled down a bit, and it does give some examples. So, practical examples. In 2023, a monthly expense, let's say your rent or mortgage was $2,000 a month, plus insurance, would be $2,360. Okay, so yeah, and in 2023 costs, your mortgage plus insurance $2,000. Nowadays it'd be $2,300, $2,600. Electric bill in 2023, $200. Nowadays, anywhere between $240 and $300. Insurance for car, $150 a month. Now anywhere between $220 to $350, which is fucking true. Groceries would be a monthly expense of $400 now, which it's way more than $500 a month. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
So back to the gas thing. In Texas, Buc-ee's actually got sued by the state attorney general because they were selling gas for less than they paid for it. And, so they got hit with like an unfair competition.
Yeah, because they sell so much tchotchkes and shit and so much beef jerky and fucking prime rib and pulled pork and fucking brisket and fudge and everything else at a 40% increase. The gas is basically a low cost fucking item for them. It's like handing out ketchup at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrying a firearm daily comes with serious responsibilities. Responsibilities your everyday counterparts may not have to consider. Knowing where you can and cannot legally bring your firearm is crucial. But sometimes, life takes you places where carrying isn't an option. That's where the StopBox Pro portable gun safe comes in. Securely store your firearm in your vehicle while handling life's obligations. Safety, responsibility, and with peace of mind. StopBox Pro. Protection when you need it. Security when you don't. For more information, visit stopboxusa.com/D410. Here's one that Morgan, we can talk about. Morgan, it's no surprise that we've discussed our upbringing and some of the trials and tribulations we faced as young youth and very precarious situations with particular family members and whatnot. Do you have sorry for the disparaging words, but it's the only way I can categorize this. Do you have a white trash family event that sticks in your mind? I'll give you an example to help prime your pump. So Carrie and I were dating for quite a while, and my cousin got married. And so we went up to Kentucky, and this is the first time Carrie was meeting my family. And unfortunately, my mom was back with her dad, Tim, Jeff, her fourth husband, but my third stepdad, which was a guy that she had dated off and on since 1985. Guy who wanted to be a biker but couldn't afford a motorcycle. So just put that in perspective. He's the type of guy who drank nothing but Budweiser 24 hours a day, and then shockingly died of liver failure when he's like 62.
Nah, come on.
Yeah, true story. That's not the event though. The event is I took Carrie to Kentucky to meet my family, and Ray had just fallen off the wagon at a wedding with an open bar. So we're in the backseat of my mom's car driving home from said wedding through the hills of Kentucky, and my mom's driving, but Ray is so fucking trashed on whiskey and everything else, he's pretending to drive from the passenger seat, and he starts cranking the radio, and my mom's turned it down, and he starts to get shitty with her. And I said, yo, I'm not 13 anymore, because I had to deal with that shit when I was 12, because like I said, she'd been dating him off and on my entire life. I said, I'm not 12 years old anymore. I'll knock you the fuck out. You talk to my mom that way. Okay, Carrie's meeting my family the first time. Argument ensues. My mom breaks it up. Ray goes pass out in the bed. My mom. Now, keep in mind, folks, we're setting the bar here. She brings me a Taurus 22. No. Was it no, not even a Taurus. What's the shitty one made in Ohio that everybody makes fun of?
High Point.
She brings me a High Point 22 because a Taurus would be out of their price range, and advises that I should sleep with that under my pillow in case Ray gets up in the middle of the night and hurts me. So here's Carrie staying at my mom's house for the first time, watching me get in an argument with my stepdad, and then have her future mother-in-law walk in the room with a High Point 22 pistol and says, sleep with this under your pillow for safety. Now, how's that for white trash interaction? Luckily, Ray didn't wake up. I didn't have to shoot him with a 22 fucking High Point. But now most people say, you guys are still together? Come to find out, her family's from the same area of Kentucky. We were born in the same hospital. My stepmom and her aunt were in kindergarten together. So her family's just as fucking crazy than me as mine. So for her, that was a regular fucking Wednesday night.
Are you sure you all aren't kin?
That's been the joke. We're waiting for that blood test to come back.
23andMe might not be your friend.
Well, she hasn't done it. I had to do it on Stan and Haney, so nothing's come up from that. So do you have a white trash family interaction that lives on it through lore in your family?
Well, embarrassingly, I have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about your third stepfather, mom's fourth husband.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mike's like, what the fuck did I walk into?
I have had 7. Well, I mean, I guess really, if you think about it, I've had like 11 different stepfathers.
Did she marry the same one twice?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't count that one. She actually married Jeff twice. So Jeff was married, went away, and then Ray, and then back to Jeff. No, Jeff broke up, dated Ray, went back to Jeff, got a divorce. Jeff's mom died. Jeff inherited a shit ton of money, but then he died shortly after because he too drank nothing but Budweiser and also had, yeah. And so you can see there's a pattern here. So yes, he was. So yeah, but Ray wasn't the one she married twice.
So I'll tell probably the most embarrassing family story. So my Nana, my dad's mom, her second husband was a horrible alcoholic. He would polish off a handle of old granddad every other day. And so we're at Thanksgiving or Christmas, they had a nice house a lot of money, whatever, but still, you know, you can.
Yeah, I'm sure they made a cool $32,000 a year back in 1984. It made them the rich people.
Well, yeah. But so he was hammered at whatever, you know,
8 a.m.
event, you know, Christmas, you know, Thanksgiving, whatever it was. And my nan says, "Hey, how's the food?" We're in the formal dining room, big, you know, very expensive table, linen tablecloth, napkins, the whole thing. And my mom says, "Oh, hey, you know, the potatoes don't have quite enough butter." So my grandpa Bill stands up and he goes, "Oh, there's not enough butter in the fucking potatoes." Now keep in mind, I'm like 5-6 years old. And he takes the butter out of the butter dish, throws it in the bowl of mashed potatoes, and starts mashing it in with his hands. And he's like, "Is this enough fucking butter for the fucking potato?"
No.
And I remember thinking at like 6-7 years old, I'm like, you know, the Bradys aren't like this. You know, Wally and Beaver don't have to put up with it. This can't be normal. None of my friends tell stories like this. And here I got a raving lunatic alcoholic step grandfather who's mashing the butter out of the butter dish into the fucking mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving.
Which is why Married with Children and Roseanne struck a chord with so many of us, because those were the two white trash families on TV. But to be fair to your step grandfather, granted the guy was an alcoholic, I bet you that's just a story of a man who just snapped after hearing his fucking stepdaughter complain about every fucking thing for 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
And he finally said,
exactly.
"Oh, that's it. I've been hearing this shit for 20 years. Nothing we do is good enough for you."
Yep, that's it.
So, Mike, while you're away, I was asking Morgan if he had a family, a white trash lore that lives on his family. And I was explaining to him the first time Carrie went to Kentucky to meet my mom and my family, my third stepdad, my mom's fourth husband at the time, fell off the wagon at my cousin's wedding with the open bar, and after getting drunk was yelling at my mom. And I told him I wasn't 12 years old anymore and I'd kick his ass, to which point when we got to my mom's house, she walked in the room with a high point 22 pistol and told us that we probably should sleep with it underneath our pillow in case Ray woke up with a knife in the middle of the night.
Jesus.
And I pointed out that one would say, well, how did Carrie stick around for that family? Then to find out years later that she too's from Covington. We were born in the same hospital, as we've talked about before. Her aunt, my stepmom, went to kindergarten together. And so her family's just as crazy as mine. So for her, it was just a regular Wednesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think your family was as bad as ours, but I know that you've lived in different areas of the South. Do you have a particular family lore of anything that a normal family would consider outrageous or white trash that just comes up from time to time?
Oh, I don't know. Well, my mother was married to my stepfather.
Mm-hmm. As he got that's how he got the title, but yeah.
Right. Right. My mother was married to my stepfather before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's 8 years older than me.
Hold on, I'm doing the math. Okay. Was he married to her 9 months before you were born?
They stayed married up until his death. So I don't know what happened between them at the time, but they ended up she ended up leaving, got with my father. Out I came, and then I always knew he was in a wheelchair my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's in a wheelchair since like the 70s. So I always knew him.
Skee ball accident.
Yeah, not motorcycle actually. Skee ball.
That's why it's funny. Just like in the opening of Revenge of the Nerds, you find out that the one guy broke his leg playing chess.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
No, yeah, I knew of him growing up. Like he wasn't like not in my life,
Uncle Jim.
Even like as young as I was, and for whatever reason, he stayed married to my mother, and I even would go over there with him and hang out with him as a kid growing up, while my mother was, out gallivanting and doing whatever she was doing. Years later, she ended up moving back in with him, and he was still my stepdad the whole damn time. So
nice.
I'm kind of I'm not necessarily a bastard child, but because I know who my father, my father's been in my life my whole life, but I've always had this stepdad who was technically my stepdad before I was really even born. So, and, for the situation at the time, I mean, he was never really mean to me. He always treated me like I was his own my whole life. So,
this episode of the What's in Your Head podcast is brought to you by the word gallivanting. Gallivanting, to wander, roam, travel around carefree in a playful way, usually in the pursuit of pleasure and entertainment. Gallivanting.
There you go. My mother had a good time for a long time. So that's kind of my, I guess, white trash.
I had
a stepdad before I was born.
Here's kind of an interesting story. I think I may have stop me if I told this one, but on the What's the Scuttlebutt podcast, I was interviewing an author who wrote a book about her grandfather, who was one of the original Windtalkers, and she was talking about growing up on the reservation in the 50s and 60s, and just like in what was it, 1796, the spinoff of Yellowstone. They're showing the girl at the Native American, that school where they were beating them all up. You guys remember that series? Mm-hmm. So in the spinoff of Yellowstone, one of the female Native American she was talking about that shit was still going on in the 50s and how she wanted one of those. Anyhow, we got to the conversation. I was like, yeah, growing up, I would spend the summers with my dad, who was, we lived in Columbus. He was, working his way at the upper middle class. But in the summertime, I'd spend time with my mom on welfare. And depending on her relationship with my grandmother, she either lived in the trailer from 1970s with a cistern and a single air conditioning unit in the window in her bedroom, which we'd hide in because it's so damn hot, across the street from the Ohio River, or we lived down at the other end of that 5-acre property, and the cabin that was built in 1921 had no indoor plumbing. We captured water in a 55-gallon barrel. I bathed in the Ohio River and took shits in an outhouse, to which she replied, "Sounds to me like you grew up on the reservation." So basically, my summers at the cabin were akin to what kids living in Native American reservations were going through.
Wow!
I remember one time my mom told my brother to set out the steaks she bought at IGA to defrost. So, as any kid would do, you'd leave them on the picnic table outside in the Kentucky sun, to which the cats broke it through the plastic and took off with our steaks.
See, I kind of experienced the same kind of, duality in life that you did, because, my dad and my stepmom, they worked really hard for, everything that we had. I had nice clothes, I had, all that stuff. But when I went to my mother's house on the weekends, I mean, all my clothes I got from my brother when he outgrew them. So, and they were either really big on me because he's, like I said, he's 8 years older than I am, or they were really, really small. But
it's like the opening line of that Double Makes Three song. I grew up on an old dirt road, pedal to the metal. I did what I was told until I found out that my brand new clothes came secondhand from the rich kids next door.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I remember. God, I can still remember this day. I think I talked about this in the past. I used to get all my brother's hand-me-downs, a lot of corduroy and, all that stuff. Because I was like, going into first grade. My grandmother got me a pair of Lee jeans for my birthday.
Wow.
Fucking, I lived high in the hog on that for fucking all school year, to have one pair of name brand jeans that didn't come from Gold Circle or some bin out back of some, dollar store somewhere.
Man, I found a pair of jeans on Amazon for $15. They are called Rustlers. They're made by Wrangler.
Mm-hmm.
They're great.
Hey, I
don't care.
No.
They're great because I'm not spending no $35 to $40 on a pair of
don't laugh, Morgan.
jeans.
Don't laugh, Morgan. When Sears was going out of business here in Cape Coral, I was going every paycheck to buy Levi jeans because kids, what your daddy won't tell you when he talking about his Jinko jeans and wearing the super large jeans, the shit was heavy and uncomfortable as fuck.
Fuck yeah, it was.
And it would leave calluses on your hips from your belt, and you'd end up having to pop them. They're like zits, like fucking, from your denim hanging off of your fucking clothes and sagging. You'd get fucking sores and shit.
Ingrown hairs.
So by the time I got in my 30s, I started wearing jeans that fit. You know what's more comfortable than a pair of denim jeans that fit? Fucking nothing. Carrie all the time is like, how can you wear your jeans? Because they're comfortable. But let me tell you this, friend. I got a couple pair of fucking Wranglers, and they're just as bit, if not more comfortable, and have a better fit and finish than a fucking Levi jean. And so don't sleep on Wranglers, man. They are nice
Wranglers.
fit.
Wranglers are great, but I'll tell you, as a kid, everybody wanted 501s.
Yeah.
I got Rustlers. And the only thing worse than that was Tough Skins. And it's like different levels of poor.
Yeah.
But if you had Rustlers, it was like you were ghetto ass, because that was like now I'd probably wear them if they fit good, because I don't give a shit.
If they fit good.
I don't care at all. There's $15, because even 15 years ago, it's $20 for a pair of jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's $30 to $40 for one pair of fucking jeans.
You go to Bell's Outlet, and if you find a pair of Levi's where like one leg is a 1/16 of an inch longer than the other, and you get them for $15, you're like, holy shit, fucking score.
Yeah.
There was
I never buy clothes for myself.
There was a TikTok I saw the other day. Guy was complaining about his jean tore out. Hey, I just bought these pants. Why are these tearing? And I commented. I didn't stitch. I commented. I said, because somewhere around 2013, we got to the point where real denim was too heavy and too uncomfortable, and everybody wants stretchy fucking pants now. And so all your jeans are made of paper thin fucking denim. That's why they're tripping. Whereas you go find a pair of Levi's from 2010, 2015, they probably weigh a quarter of a pound more than a modern day pair. Because the nice thing about getting old kids, I literally have a Hurley shirt in there that's 23 years old. So forgive me if I don't listen to your opinion. I got shirts older than you. But my point is, when you get old and you keep your shit and your weight goes up and down, every once in a while you can fit into those jeans you had back fucking 15 years ago. And so when you pick them up, you can feel the weight difference between a 15-year-old pair of jeans and something you just got from the store 2 weeks ago.
$14.98. And
so do they
got them for Prime?
Are they sized properly?
They seem to be. They seem to be, because when I initially ordered them, I bought them, and what's nice is these don't stretch. They don't stretch. I wear them all. I mean, they obviously denim gives a little bit of stretch over time, but
they're not the fucking the sweat.
I don't have to yoke down on my belt to keep, because I have no ass to begin with, but I don't have to yoke down on my fucking belt to keep my damn jeans up. These things are great.
The only thing
I love them.
Only problem I have is one pair of my Wranglers, and I've experienced this with lower end, more affordable World War II uniforms, the reproductions.
Yeah.
One of the things they do, I can get this from What Price Glory for $40 cheaper than at the front. Well, one of the things they do, and I experienced this with a pair of my Wranglers, they use a lower quality button, the metal one that you put through the hole, and where it's because it's basically a rivet. And the rivet machine, they're using handheld ones instead of stamping ones, and you can feel they're kind of flimsy. And I actually had one pop off.
Yeah.
And so it's the shit like that. It's not so much the denim. It's the little rivets are made from shittier quality and the buttons, but that ain't nothing a safety pin can't fix.
There you go.
Actually, they sell the replacement buttons you screw. There's a fucking Phillips head screw on the back. You can get them on Amazon and just screw the son of a bitch right in. Look, one thing we can all agree on is things are not getting cheaper. Life's getting more expensive. Life's getting more frustrating. And we're all worried about every little cent we spend. Right now here in Florida, for example, gas near me, within 0.7 of a mile is $4 a gallon. But one of the things I've been doing to try to save money and to get money back is using the Upside app. At that same gas station right now, if I were to simply claim this deal on the Upside app, I would pay $3.88 a gallon. Not only saving 12 cents a gallon, but actually getting 12 cents a gallon cash back into my bank account by simply claiming this deal on the Upside app. Check it out. Nothing to lose, you guys. There's nothing to install that's going to give you any weird advertisements. It's a legitimate app. Go to your Google App Store, go to your iPhone App Store, download the Upside app. Do me a huge favor. Use the invite code of digital9684. That's DIGITAL 9684. And by using that promo code, you too will get additional cash back on your first fill up. How it works, you simply pull out the app, hit gas. It'll show you gas stations in the area, show the deal, you hit claim. Pump the gas, upload your receipt. Within a few days, you'll get the money back into your account. Once your account gets to the balance of $10, you can choose to send that $10 or more if you wait into your bank account, or you can choose gift cards or deals other places. Not only does Upside save you money on gas, but they now incorporate restaurants, convenience stores, and others. For example, right now, as I'm recording this, I hit restaurant. If I go to Sonic, I get 23% cash back and I only have to go 2.8 miles away. That's 23% cash back on the total balance of the food you buy from Sonic right now. Within a few days, that money will be available to you. So you have nothing to lose. Download the Upside app. Use the code DIGITAL9684. It'll help us out. It'll help you out. We all know we got to save and get money back anywhere we can. Good luck. Keep your heads up. Fill up that gas tank.
My only complaint out of those so far is they are heavy. And
yeah, but they'll last a lot longer.
But they're going to last a hell of a lot longer. I mean, if, during the summertime, I'll probably wear shorts anyway at any possible time that I can. But, I mean, they've been working great for me because I go through pants, like that. I mean, there was a point where I was spending $30 on those, their cargo khaki pants. I think those are Wranglers too. And they were thin and light, and that was what I wanted them for work. And I'd have a pair for 2 or 3 weeks, and they'd immediately get ripped.
Just go with Dickies. They're expensive, but just go with Dickies. Morgan, you're a little older than us. I think you may have been at the tail end of this, but I heard lore back in the 70s and early 80s, back when they had honesty in advertising. If you were a fat kid in elementary school, the fat kid pants were called Huskies and Tough Skin. So you had small, medium, large, and husky. Do you have pants for my son? Yes, Mom. You got to take your son to the husky aisle.
So the most mortifying thing when I was like 12 or 13 was I had to go to the husky section in JCPenney.
Could you imagine that? Have a brand of My Little Fat Ass.
It's like Garanimals, but it's oh my gosh. But yeah, that was horrible.
My Tough Skin.
Yeah, I was telling Mike, if you had Tough Skins, man, you were like ghetto ass poor.
Mm-hmm.
Sears and Roebuck.
Is that where it's from?
Yep.
Do you know Sears used to sell houses?
Yeah.
Like kits?
Yep.
Really?
They would just drop off a bunch of pre-cut 2x4s and shit to your house and a bag of nails. Siding, windows, the whole nine. You can get them for like what? 15 grand?
No shit.
Well, I don't even think it was that. I think it was like $4,500 or something.
How much were the Sears and Roebuck, mind you?
I think they sold them like up until the 60s.
Yeah, houses.
$4,080.
Yeah.
12 rooms.
But back in the good old days when you can go down Ace Hardware and buy yourself a Thompson submachine gun. You used to be able to buy a Tommy gun at the fucking hardware store before they passed the fucking no machine gun laws.
That's wild.
Wild stuff. Okay, we did a whole entire podcast about people who don't buy fishing licenses and complain about fishing licenses and then go out and fish with 14 grand worth of fishing equipment, which led us down the road of actually seeing how much fishing licenses are in other states, and we did discover some of them are quite expensive, like $70-$80 a year, and that's just for freshwater. Florida Fish and Wildlife got caught tripping on some bullshit, and I kind of maybe get why they're doing it. They changed a policy where out-of-state anglers could no longer buy guest fishing passes on the Florida Fish and Wildlife app or website. So if you were coming to town to, hey, I'm here for three days, you had to go to the tax collector's office, Walmart, or a different sporting goods store. You couldn't show up at a charter boat in the morning, pull out the app, and just order it in a parking lot like everybody else. And the question was why? And so enough brouhaha. Now, see, when I programmed the story, they hadn't reversed course, but so much bad publicity has come out online, they reversed course, which is a good thing. Florida visitors will soon be able to purchase short-term fishing licenses online once again. The service that has been available since November of last year. During the suspension, tourists were required to buy licenses in person at locations such as tax collectors' offices, sporting goods stores, and bait and tackle shops before heading out on their fishing charters. That would suck. Hey,
oh yeah,
we got this condo on the beach. There's a fishing charter 1.5 miles, but we got to get up early, drive 30 minutes to Walmart and sit in, beach traffic to get our fishing license before we can get on this charter boat. After facing backlash, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is bringing back the online service. Starting tomorrow, people can go online. But see, if you're a real journalist, you would ask the question, why? What was the whole reason
why did we do this?
Yeah, all you're doing is we've discussed it before. What's the purpose of fishing licenses? We all know that majority of the money funding wildlife conservation comes from hunting and fishing licenses. So why would you do anything to risk reducing your revenue stream? Makes no sense, right? Especially in a tourist-driven state like this.
Right.
I'll be a little honest with you. I've been hearing some shady shit coming out of the fine offices of the Florida Fish and Wildlife lately. They're kind of getting involved in all kind of hinky shit. Hinky shit.
Yeah, I don't understand that. The other thing I don't understand is why, how many was it? 5, 6 different commercial fishing businesses decided to go up against the state and say that and basically wanted to shut down red snapper season, I believe on the other coast or something to that effect. Well, the theory as to why is because those commercial fishermen are able to basically catch as many red snapper as they want to. But recreational fishermen only have I think a two limit.
Yeah.
2 fish limit or something like that. And season was supposed to start last weekend. And a judge put a hold on the season pending this court case or something like that. That was the last that I had kind of heard about it. How fucked up is that? How messed up is that these commercial fishing businesses can literally go to court and shut down an entire season the week that it's supposed to open up for one fish?
Okay, let's see here. Federal judge in Washington, D.C. halted Florida's expanded 39-day recreational red snapper season in South Atlantic federal waters just hours before it was set to begin. The court paused the permits in a lawsuit brought on by commercial fishing groups and environmental activists who raised concerns about overfishing.
Well, wasn't that something that...
Let's roll that track back and re-consume that. The commercial fishermen.
The commercial fishing industry.
The people who fish in bulk want to prevent people who have a limit from fishing because they're afraid Mike's 2 snappers are going to take away from their netted snappers and cost them $80.
Yep.
State waters will remain open. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC, has adjusted regulations to allow anglers to continue fishing in the Atlantic state. Catch limit. The recreational bag limit in the open state water is 2 snappers per person with a minimum size of 20 inches. But the commercial fishermen say, hold on there, Steve. You got 2 people on your boat. By my count, that's 4 fish that I can't catch and sell myself. Even though I got 180 back here.
It's fucking greed.
Well, it's also fucking it's big fish lobbyist paying off some judge. What that big fish you hear about all the time? Big fish up to no good.
So can we segue from this into what's happening out in Oregon?
What's happening out in Oregon?
What's not happening out in Oregon?
Well,
yeah, a lot of shit.
They actually are. Well, in last article I read from the local CBS affiliate out there in Portland, I didn't
know CBS had a news channel. I thought they were a pharmacy.
CBS.
Oh, my bad. My hearing's not what it once was.
Crank up them headphones.
But they have let me get closer to the mic.
Hey, just because I grew up on a white trash reservation doesn't mean I can use the moniker of chief.
That's cultural appropriation.
That's called a throwback.
So anyway, out in Oregon, they actually have enough signatures on a petition to put legislation up for a vote in November to outlaw recreational fishing and hunting.
Oh yes, I did hear this. I did hear this.
Plus dog breed or animal breeding, chicken farming, beef raising, all of this stuff. And having grown up in Portland, Oregon, and knowing what goes on out there, probably 70% of Washington, Oregon, and Northern California is ranchers, farmers, and it's a lot like Florida, where you have Miami-Dade,
Tampa,
you have Hillsborough, you have and how those counties go.
That they make the rules goes. For a minority group is make. When I say minority, we're talking numbers, people. A minority group makes all the decisions for the entire state.
You know, having been in California, you're familiar with the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Runs from Mexico to Canada, and it goes right through the Willamette Valley in Oregon, up to, through Tacoma, Seattle, Vancouver, whatever. And that's where all the population centers are. So there's actually been, for the last several years, a movement to have the eastern half of Washington and Oregon secede and become part of Idaho, because what goes on in the valley doesn't represent the eastern part of the state.
See, I'm confused, right? Because my question is, I can understand a group of nutballs not wanting hunting and fishing, but what does dog breeding and the other thing have to do with hunting and fishing? What ties those two bridges together?
Well, it's all.
Is it for population? Because the irony is if you get rid of the hunting and the fishing, the coyotes will take care of the cat and dog overpopulation problem, because there's going to be so many of them, they're going to be eating all your goddamn pets. So let's see here. An animal rights group has advanced a controversial citizen-led ballot measure called the Initiative Petition 28, also known as the Peace Act. The measure achieved a major milestone by submitting over 120,000 signatures by the Oregon to the Oregon Secretary of State, crossing the initial 117,173 signatures threshold required to potentially put it up for a statewide vote. The core intent: ending animal cruelty exceptions. The campaign behind the initiative, People for the People, the Elimination of Animal Cruelty Exceptions, PEACE. It's like one of those titles, like they have the acronym first and then they got to try to figure out how to manipulate the language to make it make sense. We want to have the Peace Act. What can we do? I know it's, let's see here. Petition. No. Yeah. Okay. Cool. People. Oh yeah. People. Okay. Excrement? No, that we can't go asking people to vote for a bill that has excrement and elimination. Okay, that works. There's no O. No, you ignore the everybody knows that. Animal cruelty exceptions. The mechanism, Oregon's existing law strictly prohibits animal abuse, but carved out legal exceptions for common practices like hunting, fishing, agricultural farming, and veterinarian care.
Well, that's good. Let's stop vets from doing their fucking job.
I don't know how they do it in Oregon, but anytime you put a dog down in Florida, they don't beat it over the head with a fucking mallet. They knock it out and then treat it like a prison inmate, and then they inject it with two more fluids and put them asleep. Goal IP28 seeks to eliminate these exceptions entirely by removing them, and any international inquiry any intentional injury or killing of protected animals defined by as any mammal, bird, reptile, amphibian, or fish would legally qualify as a criminal animal cruelties. So catching a bass and throwing it back, which to some is affectionately called fucking with fish, would be considered animal cruelty. I don't know, man. But once again, you stop the hunting, the coyotes. I don't know. I think being eaten by a coyote doesn't sound exactly non-cruel.
Well, and it's everything like this, even if it starts out with the best of intentions, is just, it's ridiculous.
Well, in any deer hunter, and I've never hunted a day in my life, just full transparency. But any hunter will tell you, fine, you do this. First season, fine. Second season, okay. By the third season, the animal population, such as white-tailed deer, is going to increase so much that there's not going to be enough natural vegetation for them to eat. And there's nothing more inhumane than animals starving to fucking death and getting disease and having the wasting away syndrome and shit like that. Not to mention, you have too many animals in such a crowded space, bacteria and all kind of crazy illnesses. Like seeing the ones where like the deer literally turn into zombies because they get like a bacterial worm that eats their brain away until they're it's
well,
horrible.
And that's responsible herd management is like in every state in the country.
This is the equivalent of California not wanting to clear out brush debris in their woods for fire control because there's a mouse and a marmot that lives in those bushes, and then the whole goddamn state burns down. That's exactly what this is.
Well, and that's exactly it. And I don't imagine. Well, I mean, I can't say anything. I mean, this is coming from the place where the city council of Portland decided that it was okay to decriminalize all narcotics. And then they couldn't understand why they don't have enough ambulances or paramedic teams to transport all the people that are ODing in the middle of the fucking street to the hospital. So they're actually commandeering vehicles and people to drive these people to the hospital because, and where you can walk into basically anywhere and get free Narcan so you can Narcan people. I mean, I've got a buddy up there who puts a sign in the window of his truck when he takes a nap on his lunch break.
Saying sleeping,
not ODing. He's taking a nap. Yeah, don't Narcan me, bro.
Yeah, you can get free Narcan, but you probably have a hell of a time finding a pair of affordable pack of Marlboro Reds in that town. You ever had one of those dickhead guy friends or employees that say, she's so fine, I drink her bathwater. You ever heard that saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Apparently the fucking nerds are into that.
Well, wasn't that like a big thing recently where Sydney Sweeney was selling her bathwater for a shit pile of money?
I think so, but there was a real story that was turned into a fake news story that I saw and I had to do the research on. The fake news story was that some nerds got a lung disease after drinking foot water at a Comic-Con. The foot water was the true part. The foot juice stand happened during the so it's an Animecon, a Fanimecon 2026 weekend A cosplayer named Emi, E-M-I-M-I, and others set up coolers filled with red liquid, submerged their bare feet inside, and sold the liquid to passing attendees. People drank it. Cardboard signs advertised $5 swig, $15 a cup, verified by video footage showing attendees lining up to buy it, with some drinking it straight as it dripped off the cosplayer's foot. So that part was real, people. The part where they got lung disease and are on respirators, that part was fake. Imagine this. Alcohol was involved. Yeah, no shit. The viral footage indicates that the high-proof alcohol, including vodka and Everclear, was mixed into coolers or used to rinse the feet, which organizers seemingly used as a makeshift sanitizer.
Well, I mean, you disinfect stuff on the outside with alcohol. Why not disinfect the inside with alcohol?
Look, at a very, very young age, my older cousin showed me a Playboy centerfold from like 1984 that involved a woman having socks on. And so I can appreciate a nice set of feet, but I am not in no way, shape, or form going to drink booze after even the hottest chick puts her fucking tootsies in it. No, I ain't above. I ain't below kissing your toes and all that stuff in the right situation. But no, I'm not drinking booze that's been submerged in your feet, especially after you walk around in your cosplay costume for 8.5 fucking hours. No.
Well, just imagine whatever venue this was at, and all these people walk. I mean, and I'm a little OCD. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I take my shoes off when I come in the house, whatever, because the world's a filthy fucking place. But just imagine walking around a venue where thousands of people have been walking around in their dirty ass shoes.
That's my point.
They go in the bathroom, come out, track that shit all over the place, and then you're gonna drink somebody's fucking foot water. Not a fucking chance,
Mike.
bro.
If you're at an anime show and some hot Asian chicks were dressed up in their anime outfit, putting their bare piggies in a cooler full of booze and selling it at $15 a cup, would you be down to drink their foot juice?
No.
Good answer.
No. I also was never really into the Asian persuasion.
Gotcha.
Or anime at all, really.
We've already talked about jeans, so let's wrap up the show talking about socks. Back in the 90s, dudes wore white, thick socks, and they get the little white dilly bopper fucking cotton balls on them and all that shit, right? And so anytime I see big, thick, heavy, white cotton socks, I just associate it with dudes fucking, your dad come home from work, take off the fucking New Balance and throw his, his Fruit of the Loom socks with the blue toe up on it on the coffee table. That gives me the heebie-jeebies when I'm ever out in Publix and I see a woman wearing flip-flops or something and she's got on those big, white, thick cotton socks with the blue heels. Because I just think of dudes. I think of my dad. I think of my brother. I think of the socks sitting in the fucking laundry basket reeking. It's like nothing more unattractive than seeing some big-ass, thick fucking Hanes cotton socks with blue toes and heels on a fucking chick. Just does something. Just reminds me of my dad's feet in the 90s.
Like tube sock?
Yeah. With the white fucking cotton ball that's all hanging off, the ones that people take lighters to and yeah, those.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few more things. We're going to keep that for the next episode, including, hey, Gen Z, when you're talking shit about boomers and you're wearing clothes from the 90s, you're technically dressing like them.
This has been a Digital 410 production.